Hey, this is Shambhu from Best Prepaid Cell Phone Plans, and in this video we'll take a look at the Net10 Samsung T401g cell phone. This cell phone was introduced probably about a year ago, and it's actually my everyday phone. I did a review of it on paper a while back, or on page, but I haven't gone around to doing a video review of it for some reason, so I thought I'd do that today. This is a phone, has a 1.3 megapixel camera, MP3 music player, and slide out Qwerty keyboard here with nice separated keys. This is the horizontal style keyboard, so you basically kind of need both thumbs to both fingers to use it reasonably. So if you're the kind who likes using a QWERTY keyboard with one hand, you would probably prefer a phone that has a vertical layout, like say the 355C. But this one is good for me. It has a numeric layout, which is what I like to use when I'm using it as to call people or to use tools like the calculator and so forth. And then you slide it out when you want to do your text messaging, which I find really useful because I've never gotten used to the predictive text input that T9 and so forth that more expert texters are used to using. As I said, this has a 1.3 megapixel camera. There's a dedicated camera key here on the side, and as long as the phone is on and unlocked, as soon as you press that key, it goes into camera mode and you're ready to take your picture. There are a bunch of controls here that you can adjust the brightness settings and any special effects you might want to have. And what I found is that unless it's really bright sunlight outside, for generally I tend to adjust the brightness level up 1 or 2 notches to get the kind of picture I want. And it's really convenient to have around when you don't normally have a camera. For example, the image I've got as my whatever it's called, a wallpaper or screensaver, I believe this is a wallpaper, are these 2 ducks that were raised from eggs in one of my kids' classrooms, and so I happened to be in there one day doing some work, and I could quickly pop in and take this picture, which I otherwise wouldn't have been able to do if I didn't have something with a camera with me. As I said, it has a music player and web browser and games. So it comes with a few default games, and you can also download games from Net10. In this case, I downloaded How to Train Your Dragon a few months ago, and it wouldn't seem to be popular with popular film. This phone has an MP3 music player, and you can store the songs on the SD card that fits into the slot here. I guess it does not have a dedicated music player button. However, you can always reassign the stop right soft key. Right now it's set to browser. I believe that's default, but you can, if you don't tend to use the browser that much, and you can reset that to be the music player. So let me go back and actually go to the player, and once you have the player, once you have the songs on the card, you have to create playlists, and once you create the playlists, you can play those lists. So in this particular list, I've just put these 2 pop songs that are well known, and I'll play a couple of seconds of them. Just I guess I'm probably allowed to do that. So. And the next one, we all probably heard this. So one thing about this music player is that in order to listen to it, you would need an adapter for the Samsung because to fit into that slot there, which are available fairly cheaply from places like Amazon. Now, otherwise you could, so that's one slight drawback, but it's a minor thing. Well, you can get an adapter that takes a regular stereo set of headphones, or you can actually get a special Samsung style set of earphones that have the adapter by default. And once you do that, you have your music player and you're ready to go. The browser on the Samsung T401g is fairly convenient to use. I often use it to check the weather in the morning, basically to see what it's going to be like the rest of the day and whether there's any chance of any cancellations due to weather. You can also check Facebook, check your email, and check out the various search engines from the mobile website. You also get sports and news and things like that. And I believe they also have Wikipedia. You can check the movie times and ask for answers to your questions. I guess you also have eBay. I haven't tried bidding on anything via my phone, but it looks like you can do that. I found the browser to be fairly useful. You can either try the URL directly. Sometimes if you find the URL is not allowed, you can do a search on Google for that URL and then click through on that URL via the Google search engine, and that allows you to get to any page you want.